This is going to be a short video about how we can use Google Docs to collaborate in writing the DHIS2 documentation. In this video, I'm going to mention only the points directly related to the collaboration. However, Google Docs has so many features that are beyond the scope of this video. I'm going to use two accounts to display how we can collaborate. So this account, my personal account. I am the owner of this document. I'm going to start by sharing this document with the work account. And I can send an email to my work account, and this notification is going to be sent as an email to my email. I can choose either to allow this user to be a viewer, commenter, or an editor. I will choose an editor, but I will show you the difference later. So now the file is going to be shared with the other account. The person has been added as a collaborator in this document. So what means is that if I open this document in my other account, and now I can see every change that is happening at the same time while the change is happening in the document itself. For example, in this account, my personal account, if I highlight the word software, now the word software is highlighted everywhere where there are users viewing this document. You can see here it's being highlighted. If I highlight all three lines or all three words, now all three words are being highlighted, and because my cursor is here, you can see I have the username, my username, this is the personal account, and it appears pink, and this is the cursor. So any change that I make over here is going to be visible over here. That's a number one thing that's really nice about the Google Docs. The second thing is, for example, now that I've shared this document with my work account, I can choose to either be editing, suggesting, or viewing. If I click on viewing, then I'm just a viewer. I can't make any direct impact on the document itself. And of course, editing means directly editing the document, and every change is going to be saved. And you need permissions to do that. Or if you only want to make suggestions and comments, then suggesting is what we are going to use. For example, I just want to make a suggestion to change this title into the DHIS2 documentation template. Now from here, from the other document, I can choose whether to accept this, replace this title with this title. I can choose whether to accept the suggestion or to reject the suggestion. I can also add comments, but let's accept the suggestion. Now that I've accepted the suggestion, the change happens everywhere, and it's directly saved into the document. Additionally, I can choose to make comments. So if I right-click here on this line where there's a word DHIS2 after this image, and I click comment, then I can write comments. Would you change the image into the DHIS2 logo? And maybe if I want a particular user if I want to assign this as a task to a particular user, I can use the @ sign and pick their name and email, assign to this user, and then click on assign. Now over here, this is a task that has been assigned to this account. So assign to you this account by my personal email from this account, and it says, would you change the image into the DHIS2 logo? When it's done, I can either reply and say, I don't have it yet, for example. Then this is a comment, and it's going to appear over here. Now you can see that it's directly related to the document itself. Unlike the chat, if I click here and show chat, it's something, yes, it remains in the document, but it's indirectly related to the editing. Whereas the comment over here, the comment is directly related to all the edits that we make and the suggestions and the comments that we make in the document. We can also choose to receive all notifications or only yours or no notifications. So over here, when it's resolved, if I change this logo, for example, if I change it and this task has been done, then of course I can come over here and say resolved, mark as done and hide discussion. Okay, and from here, because this account is suggesting, even though I decrease the size of the image here, it's still a suggestion. It will not accept the change. It will not save the change until I come over here and click accept suggestion. Now we're done with commenting and suggesting, with the notifications for the comments, and with resolving and accepting cases or tasks such as this one, because it has been accepted by the other account. Now I can actually, oh wait, the person said they changed it, but it's just a small size of the image, it's not the actual image. So I can go back here, and even though this user said okay, resolved, I've done it, I can say reopen. Now it's open, and I can also, and of course, and over here you come and you say look, it's assigned, it's reopened, it has not been resolved. And I say not change the size, please change the image. Okay, so I reply, and of course the comment appears here, immediately appears here. So I can say but I don't have it. Okay, so okay, I can choose that, for example, now where's the commenting here? It's right here, right? But I don't have it. Okay, so I can click and say okay, I will do it myself. Okay, thanks. Reply, and I can click here and say mark as done and hide the discussion. Now it hides everywhere. It hides in this window and this window. Finally, the last point that I'm going to view is when I click over here, it says open version history. This is where last edit was made seconds ago. Every time I make a change, there's a version for the changes that I make. For example, this was a session, right? And I made 2 edits, this change and this change, 2 edits. So it's saved as a version, and I have other previous versions, older versions. I have the first one, and I have the number of versions. What's cool about this is if I decide that I don't want this change, I can always go back to the previous version and say restore this version. Additionally, now assume I have 100 versions of this document, and I want to only view the most important ones. Only show named versions. If I click here, now how many versions do I have? The first draft, the final draft, and the current version. Now I can choose that, okay, this final draft is no longer the one. I can choose to remove the name. Now it's not a named version, and I can choose to make this version, name this version the final draft. This way I can organize my versions and view only the ones that are most important, or view all versions. So we have a source, we have a version control. Additionally, if I decide, okay, the edits here, I really want, maybe I should make a copy of it or I can restore it back to it, or give it a name. And over here, if I click over here, the same thing. So it's really nice that we can see all the versions in Google Doc in the document. We can restore back and we can see what edits that happened in each version, and actually who made the edit, because you can see here that the name appears to the of the account that made the edit in the document, as well as the date, the time, and we can make copies of this version. We can make a copy of this version in a folder in the Google Drive, and we can share it with the same people or not share it with the same people, and then save. Okay, now it's going to be saved in my drive, this version. So we can have two copies, of a copy of the final version and a copy that I thought is better, so I kept it in my drive just in case. So this video is over. I hope it was beneficial for you. And of course, there are so many features on Google Docs that we should use, but these are the most important ones for collaboration. And thank you very much for your time and for listening to this video.